Yeah, good evening, everyone. I greet everyone on the YouTube too as well. And you're welcome to the iScholar Initiative Graduate Application Mastery and Excellence. The game series, this is the second part of the series we'll be having today, September 21, 2024. And I will be the moderator for this particular event. That is me staring at you on your screen. And my name is Abdulwarith Ajagunjang. And I happens to be a 2020 iScholar. I graduated from the Premier University of Ibadan, studying BSc Geology. And I proceeded with my graduate study at Khalifa University, where I obtained my master's degree in petroleum geosciences, and currently a PhD student in the same university, the same department. So, interesting fact about me is that I like to volunteer, and currently I serve as the Talent and Development Manager of iScholar Initiative. So today, I'll be handling this particular event, and we have to reiterate this again because this is iScholar, and we want to keep reminding ourselves about our vision and mission as well. So our vision is to build a younger and self-driven generation for future leadership, innovation, and the overall development of Africa. While our mission is that iScholar Initiative seeks to mentor and empower young African students in fulfilling their dreams, to pursue graduate study via access to fully funded scholarship in world-class foreign university by leveraging the network of the partnering members. On this note, I would like to also thank our partners who have been supporting the vision and mission of the iScholar initiatives. So I would like to introduce you again for those who are joining us, who are new members, and for those who are already an iScholar who did not have this particular material. It's a very, very useful one for you if you are planning to apply for graduate school and you are planning to win a scholarship. This is a resource material that you can consult anytime, any day. So yeah, it's game series and it's a bi-weekly event. So get ready for the event. Who are our speaker? One of our speaker, his name is Toyib Oluokun. And Toyib Oluokun is a dedicated and accomplished scholar from Oyo State, Nigeria. He's currently pursuing his PhD in chemistry at Solent University, building on his academic foundation with first-class bachelor's degree from University of Ibadan. And our second interesting fact about Toyib is that with a passion for academia, volunteering and mentoring, he enjoys guiding and supporting upcoming scholars to achieve their full potentials. And this is what iScholar really means. So our second speaker for today is Favor Ode. I'm very sorry if I don't pronounce this well. You can reintroduce yourself at the time when you start speaking. I'm very sorry for that. And Favor is a 2023 iScholar and a multi-potentialite who graduated with a first class in economics from Obafemi Awolowo University. Favor has worked as a research fellow at Youth Center for Research. An interesting fact about Favor is that he's currently an Alan and Nesta Ferguson Scholar at University of Leeds, UK. You can see we bring you a resource individuals who are to speak on the Game 2 topic, which is time management and proper planning. So without wasting much of our time, I'd like to bring in our speakers. The first speaker, who is Toi Bolokun. You can come in.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? I'm Toi Bolokun.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so to start with, will you be sharing the slide from you, or I have to upload my slide?
Yeah, I think I
Because
don't have.
it will be much easier if you share my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, share your screen. No problem.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, you can see your screen now.
Okay. All right.
Can you switch the display? It's the presenter's mode.
Sorry. You mean?
I think you maybe want to use play from the start or something, because it was showing us the presenter's view instead of the full slideshow. Yeah, it's better now.
Better now. All right. Okay. Yeah, good evening from Nigeria, everyone. Good morning from some part of the US, and afternoon from others. For others who are hearing us, good day to every other people. Yeah, so I'm Toi Bulukun, as introduced by our moderator. Thank you so much for the nice introduction, Abdulwaris Hajagunjem. Yeah, so today we'll be talking on proper planning and time management, which is a very crucial soft skill in our graduate school application, and even beyond when we become a graduate student, which we are currently an aspirant, most of us. Yeah. So to start with, let us firstly thank iSI for organizing this kind of webinar for us, because it is very, very crucial. iSI is like doing great, and we really appreciate that. Our sponsors, our mentors, they are really, really doing great for us. You might not like value, you think you appreciate what they are doing now, but until later when you achieve your goals, then you like even you appreciate them more. But we thank them so much for the opportunity they are giving us, for shaping the life of young scholars from Nigeria, and we hope it will also go beyond that. All right, so introduction. Firstly, time management. Time management is just the process of organizing and planning, exercising conscious control of our time being spent on different activities in order for us to like achieve maximum results within the limited time resources that we have. And also proper planning can be described as the art of effectively designing our schedule to achieve maximum results with the minimum effort possible and with the minimum resources we have within our reach. So, I don't know why it's like this. So why do we have to? So to start with, my sorry, what's this? Yeah, good. So to start with, why do we have to make proper planning? Why time management? Why do we need all those? Because my dad used to say something, you only do things if you know if you have a reason for doing it. People don't just do things. So to me, I would categorize that into two things. Firstly, you do things majorly because of what you think you are going to gain if you do it. Secondly, because of what you think you are going to lose if you don't do it. In this scenario, I think both applies, what we intend to gain and also what we think we are going to lose. Firstly, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. What do you mean by dotting the I's and crossing the T's? Graduate school application is a very broad process. It's a rigorous process, to be sincere with ourselves. We have a lot of things we need to keep on toes, your CV, your SOP, your personal statement, the GRE, all that, sending code email, reminding your lecturers, your recommenders, all that, and also working. So it's a lot of process. You need to like keep everything, so you want to make sure everything is at the right place at the right time and you're doing everything correctly and so as to avoid any regrets possible. Also, you have to like balance your work, because I believe more than 70% of us are out of school now, if not more than that. We are already feeding for ourselves. So you go to your work, daily work, 9 to 5 or wherever. Even some people also go to work on Saturday or maybe Sunday. Yet you have to like apply to graduate school because it's already something you enter into. You cannot just like leave it. You say you are not one, like the place is tedious, you cannot go again. You already enter into this, and the aim is for you to have to be successful in what you've already started. So you also need to like, why applying to graduate school? Of course, you need to make a living for yourself, and maybe you already have a family, or you are even some people also depend on you. So you cannot leave your work. So you need a balance between the two. Then a prayer for graduate school challenges. Yeah, I really like this so much. Because time, you think your time is limited now, like you have a lot of things you are doing, you are trying to combine together. Believe me, when you get to graduate school, is a different story entirely. Like I see the application process as a training ground for you. So that is why people always encourage you do it yourself at this stage, because if you don't do it yourself at this stage, if you don't try to like maximize your resources with the limited time you have, when you get to graduate school, you face many challenges. Like you have expectations, you have games to take, you have expectations from your PI, whatever. Then you also have personal challenges, personal family stuff that you have to like take care of. So all these things, as a human being, you need to like be able to combine them together and work and maximize resources. Then also maximizing limited resources. We have limited resources. Do you think so or not? Yes, we have limited resources. What are the limited resources you have? The first thing to me, I believe, is the recommendation letter. Those your recommendation letter, of course, you don't want to waste them. You know, they are very, very precious in your graduate school application process. So the recommendation letter are very precious. Maybe you think your CV is the same thing, your SOP, you cannot waste that. But your GRE and your TOEFL scores too, you think it is 2 years or 3 years. Like when you are preparing for them, you don't prepare with the mindset of if I didn't pass, I would like take them again. You prepare with the mindset of this is just a one chance. Like I just have to put in all the best. Like I just have to put in my best into this and achieve the result I want to get. Like paying for app free application, don't want to pay for app free application, and then the result will be like, oh, after submitting your result, be like, oh, I shouldn't have like I shouldn't have applied by now. I still need more time to like do this. I'm yet to like complete my application, and you already like pay application fee. All those resources that are very limited, and you don't want to like waste them. So moving on, what are the tools for our proper planning? There are a lot of tools we use. We have the Google Calendar, alarms, do not disturb. We all know all this, but how do they apply? For a Google Calendar is very, very, very useful for us. Like it helps you to like track your events. You have a webinar you want to attend. You are already signed up for many webinars to maybe to get app fee waivers or whatever. So you have events, you have interview, you have an upcoming interview with the prospective PI or others. So you use Google Calendar to like mark dates. You send an email, you send a code email. Maybe you are expecting that if 1 week, if you didn't get a response from your PI, from a prospective PI, then you want to send a reminder email. All this you can Google, you can write them down on your Google, you can schedule them on your Google Calendar, and it will send you a reminder when this time skips. So it's helps to keep you on toes on your applications. Then alarms and reminder, I believe like more than 90% of us are using alarms and reminders. We know all these things work. Then do not disturb. Of course, it's very crucial in our devices. All our devices have it, maybe the phone, the system. Do not disturb is very useful when you want to concentrate. You want maximum concentration on what you are doing. You want maximum concentration. You can just like put your phone on do not disturb so that you don't want anybody to disturb you. The call will not enter. Your messages, all the stuff, put them aside. Then you have maximum concentration on what you are doing. Then you have other task management apps such as Trello and whatever. I'm not so good in that. But this note in particular is very, very useful. This is something me in particular find very, very crucial in my life. Like I've been using it before graduate school application, and even till now, I find it very, very useful. Note is very useful in many different sense. You can have your to-do list there. Apart from your to-do list, I'm sorry, please give me a minute. So in notes, you can have your to-do list. In having your to-do list, maybe you're coming home from work, you remember you are editing your CV, you have a draft of your CV or your SOP. These are things that you continue to like modify them, your CV, your SOP, you continue to modify them. So to me, how it works is that you might just be working, maybe you're coming from work or you're going to work, you are in midst of something, an idea just came into your mind. You can easily write them down on your notes, or a particular topic, a particular word comes to your mind for your CV that you can attach to your CV. You can easily write them down on your CV. Then when you get to your normal place where you are well set, then you can easily go back to your notes, get those words back together. Then you can use it to like draft your CV, because CV and SOP, they are not something you just sit down one day and you write finish. That's one of the mistakes people like used to make. You'd be like, you already perfect your CV. I don't believe there's any perfect CV or SOP. They are something you continue moderating even after you started submitting your applications. As long as you still have some application you still want to submit, you continue editing CV and SOPs. That is how I believe things work. Then others, you have your system. I believe at this stage, every one of us should have like a system. I understand maybe there's some difficulties. So, but I believe as a graduate school application aspirant, a system is very, very crucial for your sources. You need it for interview. You need it to take a complete GRE prep. So you need to have your own personal one that you have a backup on it. You can rely on it that even if things doesn't work, you have this on your own. So you need all these things. Then tips for time management. Let's say the power of consistency. Maybe you have a boring task. You have a boring task that you have been finding very difficult for yourself. So you can set 30 minutes a day for it. You may still find it very boring, but just put your mind into it that, okay, this particular task, I don't like doing it. It's giving me a tough time. Just set 30 minutes a day for it. Then try and be doing that every day. Before you know it, it's become part of you. That is the power of consistency. Although this may not work in some aspects. For example, if it is RC, you find burning in the GRE application, in your GRE preparation, if you find the RC to be boring, you cannot use 30 minutes a day for RC if you are not going to be deceiving yourself. At least you need something like 2 hours for RC to like. So it depends on you. You know what you need. You know what you find boring. So the consistency is very, very, very matters a lot. If you find something boring, you'll find a task very difficult. Just break it into simpler ones. Then with that, you can easily find them easy. Then also you need to be taking breaks. We are human beings. Yeah, we are human beings. So as human beings, we are not machine. Even machine at times rest. So at times your brain will just be like, I've already been overloaded. So you need to take a break, refreshing your mind, set yourself back up. It steps you, because if your brain is already overwhelmed, if you are pushing a task, you just find out that you are repeating the same thing without getting the result that you need. Let's say you are preparing for a TOEFL, or you are trying to like edit your SOP, trying to find words together to mark, but your brain is already overloaded, you're already tired. You just find out that things are not working, but if you just relax, give yourself some break, then you come back to it with a fresh mind. And this is very, very useful actually for editing SOP and CVs. Also, another tips you can use is executing the most difficult tasks first or immediately after a long break. This also works for people executing the most difficult tasks first. Like when you wake up in the day, maybe on a weekend that you are not going to your daily work, Saturday or Sunday, you do what? You execute, you already have a plan of what you want to do, then you just execute which one you think is the most difficult first. After doing that, then you can continue with the rest. Then reward yourself. This one is something I found very, very useful that I've been using for myself too. You need to reward yourself. If you reward yourself, it serves as a motivation for you. For example, you want to go and watch football, and you know you have GRE preparation you want to do, or you have or TOEFL preparation you want to do, you can task yourself that, okay, if I didn't complete this task, I'm not going to watch that football. But you know your mind is attached to that particular football you're going to want to go and watch, or a particular task, or a particular exciting something you want to do as an excitement for yourself, something you want to do. Just try and delay it. When you delay it, you task yourself that, okay, I have to complete this task. If I complete this task, I will go and watch that football. If I complete this task, I will watch that movie that I want to watch. You will see the rate at which it is about mindset. You know, you have something you are targeting, like you want to watch a particular movie, and you task yourself that, okay, I have to complete this book. If I didn't complete this book, I will not watch that movie. I'm very sure it works for me a lot when I have something exciting ahead that I want to do and I want to complete a task. So that thing, you can start practicing them. It works a lot. You reward yourself after a task, or maybe you submit an application, you finish, you finally write your GRE, and you got an exciting score as you are very proud of. Of course, you deserve to reward yourself for it. It is your hard work. You are the one that prepared for it, so you need to reward yourself for that too. Then it's also serve as a motivation for you to do more, because we are human beings. That is how we are wired. Yeah, so we have some productivity cheat codes, which they call cheat codes. The first one here is the 2 minutes rule. What do you mean by the 2 minutes rule? The 2 minutes rule just is that if something takes less than 2 minutes, a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, just do it right away. You don't need to like procrastinate it. You just do it right away. For example, you schedule an email to deliver maybe 8:30 a.m. or whatever. Then by 9, you just remember, oh, I have an email that I scheduled. Just go and check it immediately, whether it has been moved from your scheduled email to your sent email. It's a simple task. You don't have to like procrastinate it. That's what the 2 minutes really is like trying to tell us. So you find something that doesn't take more than 2 minutes to complete. You don't have to procrastinate it. Just do it right away. Then we have the 5 seconds rule. What does that want mean? It's just trying to like give us the motivation. Okay, you have an initial resistance. Maybe you're trying to like wake up on a bed in the morning, and then you find yourself tired. You already woke up, but you don't have the motivation, you don't have the conviction to like stand up from that bed. Just count the word backward from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's like a magic. It can work, but that is if you tune your mindset into it. Everything to me is about mindset. If you tune your mindset to it like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then you just wake up, you just stand up, then you do whatever you want to do. Then what does the 1-3-5 rule is trying to tell us? The 1-3-5 rule to try to tell us about, like, you should have a particular task, like a very big task. You have the big tasks, the 3 small tasks, like this: 1 big task, 3 small tasks, medium tasks, and then 5 small tasks in a day. Like when you wake up in a day, try to achieve one main big thing that you know that if you do this, it cover like 60%. If you can complete that particular task, you can say, okay, I have achieved 60% out of my 24 hours for this day. That is what the 1-3-5 is trying to tell us. Then you have the medium task, which is like 3 medium tasks. The example of medium tasks is like maybe you're trying to review your SOP, but a major task can be about your graduate school application. It can be about, let's say you take a complete GRE prep test. You know, that one requires a lot of planning. You have to plan ahead. You get your system ready. You find a place that is very convenient, a serene environment. You set all the conditions to be like a standard examination condition. So you can count that as a what? as a one big task for the day. If you can complete that, it's okay, it's fine. Then we have 3 medium tasks, then the 5 small tasks. Example of small tasks are like you send a reminder email, maybe you send an email to a PI or a graduate coordinator. Then you can like try to see if the person didn't reply like maybe 1 week or so, then you want to send a reminder email. That can be a small task for you. Then we have the Pomodoro technique. This technique is something me too personally I find very useful, which I've been using. What does it say? It says if you want to do a task, just set your timer. Let it be counting 25 minutes backward. You have the 25-5. That is, you set your timer to 25 minutes. Then you focus on the particular task for that 25 minutes. You know a timer is reading. This actually was very, very helpful for me when I'm doing the task. You know a timer is reading and you are working on something. So you'll be working, your mindset will be working with the time that's, oh, before this time reach the 25 minutes, I need to like have been achieved something reasonable. You make sure it helps in being very focused on a particular task. Then what is the 5 behind this? The 5 minutes that after the 25 minutes, then you take a 5 minutes break. You take a 5 minutes break. So 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break. You can practice that. It helps a lot. Then we have the eat the frog. What is that trying to tell us is that you do a major task. That is what the eat the frog, that is the major task for the day, just like the 1-3-5. So the eat the frog is you taking the one big task. Then no multitasking. No multitasking. We all know what multitasking means, right? But to me, I would say multitasking is a kind of it's not a one-way thing. It depends on what works for you. For me personally, there are stuffs I cannot multitask on. So there are stuffs you can multitask on and you get it right. But generally, they believe multitasking is not good. If you find it to be disturbing, just stop it, don't multitask. Concentrate fully on a particular task, then you do it right away. And you do that, you just focus your energy on that, then you do it to perfect that. Then we have the Pareto principle. That's what it's trying to tell us, that you focus on the task that if you put in 20% of the effort, you'll be able to achieve 80% results. Just like a machine, you put in minimum effort, you achieve like maximum result. Like 80/20, you put in 20% effort, then you achieve 80% results. That's the Pareto principle. You have to figure out what for your day. Okay, on a particular day, maybe on a Monday or wherever, on a particular day you wake up, you mark what is the main task you need to do. What is it that if you do this, you personally, you can tell yourself that, okay, I have achieved for the day. That is what the Pareto principle is trying to tell us. Yeah, then dotting the I's and crossing the T's, just like as I said in the beginning of my talk, that we come back to this. So these are examples of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, a typical plan for various school application schedule. So this is like a kind of typical plan for someone who has started, actually this person has started preparing for his GRE a very long time before, let's say from the beginning of the year. Then by July, it's just like, you're an ISI school, you apply to ISI, you know what ISI is going to grant you: GRE, app fee, TOEFL, then mentorship. You know what comes in with GRE that you apply for. And I think you have been selected in around July or so. So you started the application. So you start your school selection. You can say, okay, in the month of July, summer is school selection. Then we continue. This GRE preparation is like you continue the GRE preparation. Then August, you continue the school selection, because school selection is not something you just select once and go. People think, like, yeah, there are thousands of schools you can select from. It is not that easy, because when you're selecting a school, there are criteria you have to consider. Does it require fee? Can you pay the application fee? Does it require, what are the official results? Do they require official results? What is their TOEFL score? What is their minimum GRE score? Do they require this? Do they require that? You need to figure that in. Then we also have a PI who work on something interesting that aligns with your own interest in that school. So all these are part of school selection. So you check all those criteria and make sure everything aligns first before you click that, okay, this school is part of the school I'm trying to like apply to. Then write GRE, work on LinkedIn profile. Yeah, these are things like you work on them little by little. When you have a plan like this. So it's like, in August, this is what I have to do. It helps you to know that, okay, in this month, I have worked on this, I've never worked on this. Then you know that you are lacking somewhere. Then you also it helps to keep you on toes. Then for the month of September, let's say this is September, you're already in September now, September is ending. So this person already wrote his GRE by August. So September he started TOEFL preparation. And TOEFL preparation shouldn't last more than a month. So within a month, you write your TOEFL, then you started filling your application form. Application form are also not something you just fill and you just fill once and for. There are some applications that you feel a part of it, then you come back to the rest later. Maybe you are still editing your CV or your SOP or whatever, or you're trying to contact your referees. And also contacting referees to get recommendation letter. We know this is a crucial task, because these people, our recommenders, they also have their own personal schedule. Yeah, they have their personal schedule. So you have to put them ahead. You have to like inform them ahead and be sending a reminder email that, oh, Professor this, Dr. this, I will need your help. Hope you are doing great. Then after you express your mind to them, you need to like be sending them mail that, okay, or message, direct message that I hope you are doing well. It's like a checkup message. It's very necessary, so that it is not the day you need their assistance. You not be like, oh, I'm here today, I need your assistant, I need a letter of recommendation. Things don't work like that. We are human beings. They have their own personal schedule too. So you have to like put in your own schedule into theirs too and take all that together. Then reaching out to GC, your SOP, final review, filling application forms. Then by November, it's expected that you already get everything in place by November. Then you just use your December for like a spare time, just in case there's anything you still need to complete. That is what the December should be for. By November, it is expected, because most applications for fall, let's say they start by August, September, most applications close by November, December. So if your target is to complete all your application by November, there is no way you're not being meet up with deadlines, which is usually around December 1, December 15, or ending of December. So you need to like prepare ahead. That is what all this is all about. Then what if, we are not human being, we are human being, we are not God. So everything cannot work according to our plan. That is what we know. So you have a particular school, of course. We all have schools we are targeting. You have in your mind that, oh, this is a particular school, I wish I could get into this school. But they have their requirement. They have a TOEFL score, they have their GRE score, they have this, all this, they have all that. Maybe they require a publication to or whatever. What if you did not meet up with that? What will you do in your TOEFL score? What of your GRE score? What if it does not? That is why it is stated that your applications, you should schedule your applications in a format that you have a target school, you have a rich school, then you also have a safe school. So you try to balance your applications into that. Let's assume you want to submit like 6 applications, you can just share them to 2, 2, 2, or 3, 2, 1, or whatever you think it applies to your situation. But try to like balance everything together. Target school, rich school, then then safe schools. That is why we have all this, because you cannot control everything. You cannot control everything. You can only try your best to write a GRE. You cannot guarantee that yet I need to have this score. You cannot guarantee everything. Then your recommendation letters. This is something I personally face. There are some applications that you have to submit your application before your recommenders also get their recommendation, because before they get their recommendation, maybe your recommender, one of your recommenders say that you have to submit all your application, because I just need to feed your application, your recommendations once and for all. You cannot come to me today and tomorrow you still come, you say you need another application, then next month you come again. If one of your recommenders says so, what do you have to do? That means you need to like make sure all the applications have been submitted as early as possible, so as to give time for the person also to submit the recommendation before the deadline. You get that? Then we have the official transcript. What if it doesn't get delivered? Maybe it got delayed. So you need to put these are part of like proper planning, because then we also have other unforeseen circumstances. So to me, I believe if you put your mind on something, if you want to, you just need to do whatever it takes in the right way to get things done. That is what all this is about. Just put your mind into it. You already started this. You cannot like quit. People have been doing it and they are successful. You will be successful. But the main thing you need to do is just to be focused and be ready to like take the bull by the horn. Take the bull by the horn. I could remember when during my service, when we were in camp, then I got an interview. You know how camp used to be, how the camp used to be. It's a place where you cannot do what you want. Like it is a restricted place. That's what I mean. It's a restricted, the camp service and NYC camp is a restricted place. So I got an interview. I need a system because they designed the system in such a way that it's not an interview I can use a phone for. So I just figure out how to just like have to liaise with my platoon leader, then the officials, then to get their system. Like it was like a crazy stuff. Then like I just try my best to see how things can be done. And yet I still got the interview and I passed the interview, despite the how restricted the area was, because it takes a lot of process to do that. Consider as you don't have your own personal system. I have to borrow a system from one of the officials, and I'm someone who doesn't like talk like that, so it's maybe a difficult. But the point is that just do whatever you think. If you think this thing is necessary, you just need to put in all your efforts to do it. Like one of my colleague wrote a wrote a test and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I should have done better. No, it's not about sorry. It's about did you try your best? Did you put it to the limit? Do you try your best? That is what matters most. If you're given the opportunity to write a test again, is there anything you could do differently? Say no. Then you already tried your best. That's it. That's it. Just put everything as a one-time shot. As a one-time shot. Okay. And then evaluation. So at the end of every day, you need to like rate yourself at night before sleep. 3 minutes, do you have a 3 minute achievement of what you can say, okay, for the day before I sleep today, what are the things I have achieved? You need to analyze yourself. That's how things work. Then are there some frivolities I have done? Some things I'm not supposed to do. You need to like to check yourself. Then you make the plan. So the plan for the next day actually starts before that day. So you want to make plan for tomorrow, you start this night. So what you want to do is not tomorrow that tomorrow has already started counting. That's now you started making plans. No, things don't work that way. You make plan for the next day before the, like you need plans for weekend. You start making them as early as Thursday. Even you start executing your weekend plans as early as Friday. Because to me, weekend is a scam. Before you know it, if you are a very busy person, before you know it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will just be like 24 hours, less than 24 hours. Then Monday is here again. So the best thing to do is that you have plans for your weekend. Okay, you run your 9 to 5 jobs Monday to Friday. Then you have plans for your weekend. Maybe your graduate school application processes, you put the plans majorly on your weekend. So you start the plan from Thursday. Then by Friday, you start executing. That's how things work. Then you also think, how could you make the next day more effective? How could you make the next day more effective? So how could you do that is that you need to analyze the present day. What are the things you are not supposed to do? Are there some things you shouldn't have done? Is there a way you think, oh, I didn't achieve maximum results today? So those are the things you need to do. And it's very, very crucial in this application process. And I wish you all the best. Thank you for listening. So now we go for a break, a 1 minute break before our next speaker will be telling us about our own personal experience, how things work, what are our expectations, how was she able to like navigate through. She will tell us all that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Toyib Oduokun. Really appreciate uh, your effort in putting together this talk for us. It's been very, very useful. And I would like to invite the next speaker, Favor Ode. Thank you. You are welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Abduraris. Hi everyone. My name is Favor Ode, and you were actually correct. I didn't know you were going to get the pronunciation, Abduraris. So, I'm just going to start. I say up to 1 minute yet, but I think I'm just going to
Yeah, you
start.
can start right away. I think you can start right away.
Okay, okay. You'll be sharing your screen, right? You can just continue. Oh, okay. Let me share my screen
I think
then.
it's better if you share your screen so you'll be able to control.
Yeah, yes, I'm doing that now. Please, can you see my screen now?
Not
Can
yet.
anyone see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah, you can see it now.
Oh, okay. Okay. What about now? Can you still see?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it. Can you put it in slideshow?
It's in slideshow. It's on slideshow like this.
Oh, I think it's in presenter mode. Click here.
Presenter mode.
No. Click here. Yes. Below 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth icon like a cup, like a work cup.
Oh, first icon like a World Cup.
No. At the bottom right,
So
right. The fourth icon like a cup.
I can't find that.
Then the
Sorry.
volume.
you can
Get the
just
volume.
at the very top, on the left, you see from beginning, just hit that. Oh, that's gonna,
Okay.
sorry, from current slide rather, not from beginning.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did from current slide. So my screen is on my screen, my entire screen. Is it still showing on?
It's not giving the slideshow.
Oh,
Okay, you can use the bottom right. You see the bottom right, there is an
Closer,
icon before those zoom,
Like a
closer
cup.
to the volume.
plus and
Have you,
minus.
is it volume increase the slide?
okay.
That's not like a
This.
cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it on slideshow now?
No.
It's on slideshow from my on like right now, but I think it's not showing as slideshow. Probably I should try share my
Are you
entire
using
screen.
two screens?
I
No.
think so.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I
Wait,
should
let
use
me
it for you.
just I think I know what to do. Oh, if it doesn't work, then you just help me share.
Okay. Does this work?
Oh, are you sharing already?
If what yours work, it's okay.
So is it better now? Is it
No,
on
we
Yeah.
cannot see your screen.
slideshow? Oh, Abdularis, can you see it?
Yes.
Is it better?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so hi everyone again. And my presentation is a bit different from Tohib's own. And I think it's kind of short, but I also wanted to make it a bit interactive. We are still discussing time management, and I wanted to just share a bit of my story, and also not story per se, not looking it's looking like I have this very story to like a very interesting story, or I don't know, like not really story, but just my experience when I was applying for grad school. And then I wanted to just hear from us, all of us here. You can just type on the chat box if you have more than one commitment. Say you are working, you are volunteering in church, or you are serving in church or mosques, as the case may be, or you are volunteering somewhere like a charity, and you are working as well, or you're doing your NYC, you're working, or you're reading for one exam. Maybe you're trying to do ICANN or ACCA, and you're working. Like if you have more than two commitments, you can just type on the chat box, yes, you have more than two, like the comment section, you have more than two commitments. Because like Toib said, um how like how do I view the comment? Also, I have to just go back. Sorry. Let's see. I just want to get a feel of if we are all in the same, if we are sharing, if we all have the same issues, quote and unquote. Trying to view the comment. Okay, yes I do, yes I do. More than okay. All right. So for me, while applying for the graduate school, I had several commitments. Like, um, I was working, volunteering. I had like a side gig as well, and like Toyib explained, like I think that we do all of that because we firstly you want to make money. You're not just applying to grad school. You probably have some need that has to be met, and you are done with university, so you probably cannot just request money from your parents. You have to start something to get money. Even the grad school too, you might need money for some things, even if it's just getting materials or notebook, exercise book, whatever be the case, you just need money for yourself. And then you might find yourself in a situation where you are also working in church, maybe choir, prayer lead, teaching in Sunday school, whatever. It can be in the mosques too, and you can also be volunteer. Like I had so many things. So my story, I had so many things I was doing. I was working, I was volunteering, I was actively volunteering, not just say I'm volunteering. I was actively volunteering. I was doing more than one job. I had a physical job too, and then I had some online gigs that I was also doing. And I was doing all of that because I wanted to. I didn't want to miss anything. I felt like, oh, I just finished graduating. I have to just be everywhere. I don't want to make the mistake. So I had like plan A, B, C, D. Like I was just so scared of missing out on anything. Not like missing out on the trend, but like making sure that I'm starting life the right way, like life after graduate school. So, and I was just everywhere, and I was very confused, and I had the GRE to read. I had to read for the GRE, and what I did at first, I tried to juggle all the activities I was engaging. I felt like, oh, I'm a superwoman. I can do this. I just have to plan, just like all the things our first presenter said. I had to plan my time, 80/20 rule, set alarm, Google Calendar, everything. I felt that, I will still do this thing. I will still do it. I will still be able to make money. I'll still be able to volunteer for impact, like impact humanity and all of those things. I'll still be able to participate in church, serve God very well, even more than serve himself, help people in church, and then I'll still be able to read. I don't know why I thought I was going to do this, but I just felt I was going to do it, and I proceeded. Yes, let's do this. Then I cut down my screen time. I thought, he's Facebook. I'm always on Instagram, so let me stop. Let me just stop. It's not the issue of volunteering. It doesn't have anything to do with what I'm involved in. Just me. I'm just being on Instagram a lot. Then I did to-do list. Okay, let's be serious, because yeah, everything the first presenter said is true, but I was not just a to-do list person. I hardly track, and the reason I don't do that is I always feel very, I know it's a good and a bad thing, but I always feel very bad if I don't achieve all the tasks on my to-do list. So I'll be like, oh, let me just not write those any to-do list. Whatever I can do, I do. Whatever I can do, move to the next thing. But because I was juggling a lot of things, so I felt like, oh, I have to have a to-do list, and let's see how we can do this. We can do this. I can do it. I kept telling myself. I was not talking to some of my friends. If it's not an important call, I don't want to discuss with you. If it doesn't have anything to do with my volunteering, doesn't have anything to do with graduate school, doesn't have anything to do with exam like GRE, then let's not just talk. We'll meet later in life. And then I reduced my sleep time as well. So I was like sleep deprived. But yeah, I felt like, yes, we can still do this. And I believe that some of us are in this situation, like you are juggling different activities and you're still telling yourself that you can do it. You're still telling yourself that and you are maybe feeling bad that you're not able to manage everything. Oh, What are you doing wrong? Do you need to stop going to Instagram? Do you need to reduce the time you spend on LinkedIn? Do you need to reduce the time you spend talking? Like you are just being hard on yourself that you're not doing things the right way. And yes, these are common practices. I mean, that was what Tohib was asking us to do, like setting those, making use of your tools, your Google Calendar, your alarm, your notes, which was very important to me, and it's still important, especially that note, like he said, it was very important. It helped him a lot. It is also helping me, like taking note of things. And yeah, my calendar too, it prevents me from saying yes to things that I'm not supposed to say yes to. So before I say yes to anything, I have to check my calendar to be sure that I'm free, and it keeps me organized. So these are good practices, but I think it did not just work for me, and until I had to do some other things. So what I did later on, first I had to tell myself the truth, and I realized that um sorry, can everyone still hear me? Because I'm just on a full screen of
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
we can hear you.
So I realized that I could not manage everything. Like I had to tell myself it was a hard truth. And currently a friend of mine is going through the same thing. She's trying to read for exam, but she's doing so many other things. And I had to be very frank with her. I think it's hit her hard too as well, realizing that she can't just do everything. And also while I was reading for my exam and applying to grad school, I had friends too that we were all combining things. We were working, volunteering. Some of them were very, very active in church, and some of them had some other activities, like they were married, so family, or planning to get married. So all of those things, and you were trying to combine it with grad school. So I had to sit myself one day and say, no, like you can't just continue this way. And I was having so many feedback from the side gig. They were complaining. I was like so many expectations that I was not meeting, because I was trying to be jack of all trade, and I was trying to do everything. So it wasn't working. So I had to tell myself the truth, and I cut down on some activities. I dropped some of the engagements. Like it was like drastically prioritizing. So I asked myself that we had one webinar, iScholar webinar, where someone was sharing her own story, and she said that it was grad school or nothing for her. So and that was like a motivation. That was what kept her motivated. So I told myself that, what exactly is my priority? Like, do I really want to go to grad school? Do I want to, like, if I should prioritize other tasks, volunteering, the side gig, did they meet up to um my wanting to go to grad school? So, and I answered myself, they did not. So I had to cut down, stop some of my side gig, in fact, everything, and just focus on one physical job, because I still have to make money. And some of my volunteering activities, I have to tell them and explain to them that, oh, I won't be active for the next few months. Please give me some time. And so I feel you, and that was the same thing I told my friend, that you can't be everywhere. This grad school application is a lot. It requires your time, it requires your energy, it requires your commitment. So you probably have to cut down on some activities. Like you guys, like you just have to be true to yourself. Like if you feel if you want to, you can do everything Tohib said, but sometimes you really need to be true to yourself and cut down on some activities. And it might just be temporary. Maybe after your exam, you can have some time. I know the application too is time consuming, but a bit of space, we might have some time to now take up one of the activity back, and then so it might just be that you have to cut down on some activities, and so that you can manage to read well for your exam. I told myself that if I then I just had to tell myself the same thing the scholar told herself, that it was grad school or nothing. And that was when it all made sense. I was more motivated and driven, and I was like, oh, if it's not grad school, I'm not doing it. So, and that time I had enough time. So then I now applied other time management strategy tips and everything, and I was focused as well. So I had to still plan my reading time, and I still had to plan my schedule, but it was more, I was able to manage these things at that point in time because I was not everywhere. And to be in that state, I think that state was, it was a very tough. I used to tell myself that I've learned a lot in like that 1 year of grad school preparation. It's really stretched me. I thought I had it all. I've seen it all in university, but that 1 year stressed me a lot. And I still tell myself that I think, yeah, it's a preparation for graduate school. It's actually a preparation for graduate school. And then one other thing that helped me, like, this is like the, if you ask me anything, if you tell me you're finding it hard to do something, you're finding it hard to study, you're finding it hard to do anything, it's just like almost the same as eating the frog. So I think it's a book, Eat That Frog, that a book I read in secondary school. And the book was like, eat the ugliest frog first. So one thing I do, even when I was reading for GRE, you tell yourself that, oh, I don't have time to read for GRE, or I'm working, I have to be here, or I'm volunteering, or I'm doing this. But if you start your day, if you start with GRE first, and that's the one where I compensate myself, I know my day will be very busy once it's 9 a.m. or 8 a.m., even if you're not working, your day will just, someone is calling if you're staying at home. Your mom can say, oh, go and do this. Oh, go and do this one. Like, you will just be everywhere. And before you know, the day is over. So I know my applications were important for me. That was after the GRE, after writing the exam. And those were the tasks I start with. So the minute I wake up, the first thing I do, even if it's just 2 hours or 3 hours I can spare, I can get to do those things. I do something related to application, grad school within that 3 hours. So during, I might still have time to do other things like read, like probably read during the day. But I am rest assured that I have read it from the beginning. Like, I don't care what my day, how my day goes, and also you really do not know. It's not all about having time. It's also being in the right frame of mind. Sometimes you have the time, but oh, you're just down, you're not feeling too good, you're not happy, and it's not just entering like you just be like, this book is not working, it's not just flowing. But when you read in the morning, or when you send the application, maybe you fill a part of your application in the morning, you are rest assured. Because I always fight with myself, like I'm thinking and I'm fighting with myself. I'm like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? It's the end of the day already. But I figured out that when I do things in the morning, I'm good to go. No matter how my day go, even if it's a very, very bad day, I'm just happy that I've done GRE already. I've read for GRE. I've given 3 hours to GRE. Maybe I might still have time to read for GRE during the day, which would be very beautiful. But if I don't, I feel happy that I've been able to accomplish reading for GRE that day. So if possible, because I know some of us are working, and if you're in Lagos, for example, you are doing a physical job, it might be very difficult for you. And some of us are volunteering, or maybe working as a research assistant in a school already, like a Nigerian university. So it might just be hectic for you. But if possible, try and do your most important tasks in the morning, and then be truthful to yourself. Like, tell yourself the truth. How important is graduate school to you? Like Toyib said, his dad was saying that his dad told him, or usually tell him, that if a task, the reason why you do a tax is you want to you would have weighed what you will lose if you don't do it, and what you will gain if you do it. So try and think ahead, like 5 years from now, 3 years from now, which tax would be more important? Like, which of the activities you are into now will give you more value 5 years down the lane? Which of them is the most important? And I think that will help you prioritize and manage your time well. So thank you, everyone. You can ask your questions.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Favor Ode. We really appreciate you for this. Really appreciate you for this talk, putting it together for us. Uh, Now, without wasting much of the time, because I've tried to also summarize what we've been discussing, since 1 hour ago
Oh.
in the Zoom chat. But just to reiterate, from the first speaker, we have that you have to do it. Either you do it or not, the decision you make is going to play a role at the end. And one of those things it talks about the time management is that you have to use, different tools to make sure you are on the right path. You can set your calendar, you can set alarm and reminder, you can use your notepad, especially notepad. You made some points when it talks about notepad, using notepad because you have to use your notepad to jot ideas as they come in. You don't want to lose those ideas when you are ready to put them down. So you want to jot them down before you lose them. And one thing is, he said, consistency is key. Take a break. Whenever you complete a task, reward yourself. No task is too small. Whether you read something about probability, probably you are you are preparing for your GRE and you've been having issue with quantitative comparison, and one day you just did Manhattan and you found out you got everything. You can take water to celebrate it. Something. So, and from Miss Favor, we have a live experience. You don't have to deceive yourself. Please take note. Can I do this? Can I combine this and this together? And will I be able to achieve what I want at the end? So you don't want to deceive yourself. It's just for the few moments you might drop some commitment and go ahead with the other. So without with that being said, we would like to thank our speakers for the opportunity they give us in sharing their own experiences and also within the wealth of their knowledge. And now we will move to questions and answer QA. So if you want to speak, just raise your hand. I'm also in the YouTube live. If you have any questions, just type it in. We are ready to take it for our speakers. No one with questions? Try that. Please, can you help me check the chat?
Yeah, I can do that on YouTube.
No, on Zoom. I'm on YouTube already.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to see the chat on Zoom. Okay, there are no questions yet. So everyone, please post your question.
Well, if we don't have questions, we believe everyone comprehend what we've said, and we believe like it's well comprehended. That's what it means. But I believe if you also understand what we are saying, we should have questions.
So I have a question though. Could you explain more about that? Is it Pomodoro technique? Something like, I know I've always seen that, but I haven't tried it before. But when you talked about it, it sounded kind of
Yeah, the
nice and
Pomodoro
effective
technique.
to me. Yeah.
Okay. It's just about like 25/5. Like me personally, I also use that, but I don't even know it has a name until I later discover it has a name called Pomodoro technique. So what me personally I do is that I just set a timer 30 minutes. So the time will be reading, then I'll be working on what I'm doing. So my brain will just be fixed to that. Okay, the time is reading. I need to like move this. I need to achieve more on what I'm doing. Like I have to be well concentrated. So there's a way my brain connects from the timer that is reading and what I'm doing. So it makes me more concentrated, actually. So what the Pomodoro technique is that you use 25 minutes for the work, then you take a 5 minutes break, you relax. And actually I do that too. My own is just like it is 30 minutes. After I finish the 30 minutes, I stop the timer and I play chess for like 5 minutes. Then I continue. I have to start the timer again. Then I continue what I'm doing. That's what me I
Hold on.
actually.
Did you
You
say
know?
you play chess for the 5 minutes break?
Yeah, that's my
Oh my
game.
God. That
Eh,
is very interesting because chess requires so much brain power.
yeah,
But
yes,
yeah,
when you
I
are
guess
playing
that's
chess,
what
you
works
at
for you.
times you get to a point that you don't know what to play again. You just have to stop there to then you face that thing, then you come back to it again. That's what I do. Yeah.
That is very interesting because if I were the one, I would look for something that won't require any brain power.
No,
But
but
that's
what I'm doing, they are very different. I'm playing chess is like a game, so it's just like relaxing. It's like an excitement. You relax. It's a relaxing situation for me compared to like reading book or doing academic task. So they are very different. Yeah,
okay. I get that.
I take it as a layer.
That's
It
interesting.
all depends on what's work for everyone, actually.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why one really needs to find whatever works for them.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And you just need to do whatever it takes to get things done. When you know something is very important, you can't like defer it. Just try your best, do whatever it takes and get it done. Like remember my
Yeah.
so while I was in service, I couldn't celebrate. I was like trying to be fast with time too because I know we started a bit late, then we just have like 1 hour, that kind of stuff. So I was trying to like be fast a little bit. So when I was in service, I had an interview. I don't have a system with me. I have to liaise with my platoon leader. My platoon leader liaise with our commandant to get a system. Then all those officers, whenever they see you where they are not supposed to be, they'll be like, oh, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing here? So my platoon leader just stay somewhere, so direct everybody, oh, this person is busy. You don't have to like take him. Like it takes a lot of like to be able to do that inside the camp. Well, but I was like, this thing is something I have to like take. Yeah. So that's
No,
what I
I
just
get
do. When you need
Yeah,
something is very important, you do everything necessary for you to get it
to
done.
do it. Yeah, and I really liked what Favor said about telling yourself it's graduate school or nothing. Honestly, I could really relate to that because at that time I was also like, oh man, I have to get in. It's either because when I
Yeah.
was finishing
This
up,
it is or nothing.
I didn't even think about, oh, do I have to apply for jobs or anything? It was always graduate school or nothing for
For me, I think I just had plans. I felt like I always have this like plan A, plan B, plan C, and sometimes more than that. So I was like, oh, if grad school doesn't work, probably just start working. But then I was now being true to myself that, oh, I don't think I want to combine, because when you are combined, sometimes it's good to have like a plan A and plan B, because I'm always tense and I don't just want to miss out like something I'm supposed to do now. I don't want to regret, oh, I was supposed to do this before. I didn't do that. So but then you also need to be true to yourself that can you combine all your plans, like your plan A and plan B together, or can you just focus on plan A first? If plan A doesn't work, maybe you do plan B. And funny enough, if you are very focused on, like you are very determined, there's no way. Like I think it was the meeting with it was the iScholar in-house meeting we had. So that I was like, wow, you were able to do this. It means that you were very focused and driven. And then I just told myself that, oh yeah, let's get to it. It's grad school or nothing. Yeah.
yeah,
uh,
yeah. That's so
that is
nice.
really good to hear from both of you. Yeah, of course, you have to focus on one thing or the other. You don't want to miss out on any opportunity while you are multitasking as well, and you want to make sure you hit the target. Uh, so, without any question surfacing on both
We
the
have we
Zoom,
have we have questions that are just popping up. Um,
is it from Zoom?
so please prescribe me a strategy. I do GRE practice today. I'm performing well. I do it the next day. I'm performing less, despite doing everything to my best.
Should I take that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I think for GRE, while reading for GRE, before really starting to take practice tests and all of that, I had this webinar. I can't remember when, but someone told me that you should the I think it's the same for every exam you write. Like you can be like a straight way that you are practicing and you are getting good grades. But for the GRE, the person was very true to us and he told us that why reading, and it might be very close to your exam dates, you will now start feeling bad that, oh, you're not ready for this exam. And it was like you should just go ahead with it if you know that you're getting 70% of your answers correct, and if half of the time you're doing very well for the practice test you're taking, because the exam is it's also it's just it's mathematics. Like you can't probably get questions on 100% right. And for him, he said it happened very close to his exam, and he writes sometimes, he gets good grades, like maybe 5 over 6 of the answers. Then the next day he's practicing and he's getting 2 over 5, and he was feeling so tense that, oh, my exam is very close. Why am I getting this right and getting it wrong the next day? But he said he just went ahead with the exam and it turned out very well. So even when you read some people's story with the PPT test, these are people that are already ready to write the exam and they take the PPT 1 or 2. PPT 1, they are doing very well. Maybe PPT 2, their score is down and they're like, oh, I'm not ready. But they go on with the test and it turns out well. So I would just say, and someone will always say it's good, yeah, if it's a good thing you fail a question, because if you fail a question, there's a very high chance that you will remember, because you failed it and you correct. If you fail a question and you correct yourself and you go over the correction again and again, you are building that you are building yourself and setting yourself up for a success whenever you see similar question. But if you get the question right, oh, it's I got it right now. I'm good. I'm very good. I don't have anything to work on. But once you fail some questions and you go over it, the most important thing is you're going over your the question you got wrong. You are even taking note of it, like you're taking note of your mistakes, your failed question, and you're going over that particular question or group of questions over and over again. I think that's the most important thing. You don't have to be hard on yourself, actually. You don't have to.
Thank you for that wonderful advice. Don't be hard on yourself. Just take it a step at a time. Sometimes you need to take a break off that particular preparation. You don't want
Yeah.
something that is going to bring you down. You also want to make sure you review all of the aspects you think it is your strength and all of the aspects that are your weaknesses. You can give yourself a 2 weeks review period, then you will take the practice test. These are ways you can overcome something like that. Okay, any other questions?
I think there's a question on the
I want
chat.
to ask how can one practice? Oh, someone said, I want to ask how can one practice, how can one practically prepare for GRE within a month?
I think maybe when we hold the GRE session, maybe we can take that. But it is recommended that you practice GRE for 3 months.
Yeah, that's the standard, at least
That's
3
the
months.
standard, 3 months. So
It's
there's a
very
question here.
You need to learn the
How do I communicate with my referees on the need to prioritize my applications?
Should I take that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So you need to communicate with your referee to prioritize your application. To me, I would say, I'm not sure you can be in a tighter situation more than I am. During my undergrad, I don't have rapport. I hardly have rapport with my lecturers. So I don't even know whether I would need an assistant or not. It's until I graduated. So what I do is that it's also about planning ahead. You start creating the rapport immediately when you realize you need them. You don't start with what you need. Because you can okay, you already know you will need their help. You can firstly send a message to them, like explain your situation. Oh, I'm aspiring to become a graduate student. I'm your student. I was this, I was that. Then later on, after that, they should reply you. And if they didn't reply, then after that, you create a rapport. Maybe a month later or 2 weeks later, you send the greetings message. Oh, I was just checking on you. Hope you are fine. How's the family? How's the economy? Then the next 2 months, 2 weeks, you send another message again. Then that is how you like build the relationship. So when you need them, then later you don't have come point blank that, oh, please, I'm trying to submit my application to these schools. I hope you'll be writing a recommendation letter for me. I'm sure they will like be able to be ready for you. Then you also tell them with deadline. That is also why you also need to like submit your application as early as possible so that they get the invitation to write the recommendation for you, because there are some application, if you didn't submit, the recommender will not get the letter. There are some you do need to submit. Immediately you enter their names and their credentials, they'll be able to like get the email. But there are some that you have to submit your application until you submit. That is when you're a recommender. So you need to put all those things in place, and that is why you need to like plan ahead. So you also need to give them time. You don't just submit in a week and expect them to next week to like submit, write your recommendation letter. It's not that feasible. You don't need to work with something feasible for them to. You give them like at least a month interval for them to submit before the deadline. Yeah, so I think that is what you need to do.
Thank you. Thank you very much
Anybody
uh,
else?
for that short response. Do we have any other question?
There are no more questions here.
Questions? So I
Yeah.
think,
I guess we're good to go.
yeah, I would say that.
Do we have any question on Zoom?
No.
No, there's no question
Okay,
again.
there is one question here that says this is the last question we are going to take. The question says, please, I want to understand the best way to track your time in the middle of volunteering and relaxing. Does it mean I can sacrifice my sleep time for active study time? Anyone want to take that?
You want to take that favor? You're more into volunteering.
Yeah, can you please repeat the question?
It says, please, I want to understand the best way to track your time in the middle of volunteering and relaxing. Does it mean I can sacrifice my sleep time for active study time?
Sacrifice your sleep time. It's looking like a different question, but if I get you right, probably you're probably asking how you can manage your time volunteering, rest,
Exactly.
and still read, and probably still sleep as well. If it's and then you're also asking if you can sacrifice your sleep time and then for reading. So I think this is very similar to what I was saying during my presentation, like how I had to at first I had to cut down. Like I was literally sleeping 3 hours per night. It was that crazy. And it was a whole lot of stress for me. So I think it's boils down to prioritizing. If you feel like you really need to work on you, and it's going to be an individual decision as well. If you feel you need to read and volunteer at the same time, you might have to cut down on maybe sleep, and you might, if you feel you can undo it, yeah, because it's just going to be for a while. Maybe after your exam you are done, so you'll be able to sleep well. So if you feel you want to still volunteer, you want to actively volunteer, but I don't think you can have the two. I don't think you can eat your cake and have it because you can't volunteer and probably it's taking your time. To volunteering is taking your time, reading to take your time, and then you still want to sleep maybe 8 hours at night or 6 hours at night. You might have to sacrifice one for the other. So maybe sacrifice your sleep time to read and volunteer, or maybe leave the volunteering and read and still sleep well, because you need your brain to rest so that whatever you are reading, you can assimilate and recall what you are reading. So it has to be your individual decision. You have to ask yourself, like you have to decide yourself if it's worth doing. Maybe sacrifice your sleep time and do the two, or cut on drop one so that you can rest, because you need to rest as human. We all need to rest, and then be able to read, just read and rest, or read and volunteer and rest. So I think that's what I can say on it.
Yeah, thank you very much. The summary is that learn how to say no to the less prioritized activity.
Yeah.
So if you think volunteering is going to affect you, and of course you have some other activities to handle which are more important than volunteering, you can let go of volunteering and focus on other activities as well. So we've come to the end of today's session on the game series, and I would like to appreciate both our speakers, Mr. Toib and Ms. Favor. And also, I would like to appreciate everyone who take their time to attend the session as well. And of course, I would like to appreciate myself being the moderator of these particular occasion or event. Thank you very much. I hope we learn a lot from this session. You can let us know within the comment section on the YouTube, and also you can let us know on the iSI page on WhatsApp for the iSI Scholar.